Hello to my family. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, today we are going to discuss the key issues of psychology, the problems that are related to psychology. So, the first one is mind body debate. So, this is the problem for which there is no solution till now. Psychologists are still confused that either mind is the part of the body or the body is the part of mind, or if they are connected, then how they are connected, right? So, this is a debate till now. So, one of the central questions in psychology and philosophy concerns the mind body problem. Is the mind part of the body or the body part of the mind? If they are distinct, then how do they interact? And which of two is in charge, right? So, these are few of the questions that are under the debate till now. So, mind is the part of the body or vice versa, and which part commands which part, and if they are connected, then how they are interconnected, if they are different, then how they are different, right? So this is the debate still now. So second problem related to psychology is nature versus nurture. So this debate within psychology is concerned with the extent to which particular aspects of behaviors are a product of either inherited or genetic or acquired learned characteristics. Nature is that which is inherited genetic, or nurture, which refers to all environmental influences after experiences. So, nature versus nurture is the debate, which says that either nature causes any problem or problematic behavior, or any type of behavior is the result of nature, that is a genetic factor for person, or it is the response of nurture. um, any behavior occurs due to the nurture process within the environment. It means that we learn behaviors from the environment surrounding, teaches us different aspects, different types of behaviors. So this is a debate till now that either the acquired behaviors or simply the behaviors that a person possesses are either the results of nature or nurture. So the third one is reductionism versus holism. So, as the name indicates, reductionism means to split a whole into different parts, versus holism to take anything as a whole, as an entire organism, right? So, reductionism means to reduce something. So, reductionism is the belief that human behavior can be explained by breaking it down into smaller components parts. So, reductionalists say that the best way to understand why we behave as we do is to look closely at the very simplest parts that make up our systems and use the simplest explanations to understand how they work. In psychology, the term is most appropriately applied to biological explanations, genetic neurotransmitters, and hormones of complex behaviors such as schizophrenia, gender, and aggression. So, according to reductionism, it says that it is very easy to explain certain behaviors or to explain certain processes if we break down them into smaller pieces or smaller parts, right? Or simplest parts. So it will be easy for us to understand if we split different things into different parts rather than taking them as a whole. And they have given the example that schizophrenia, gender, or aggression, these are the results of the disturbance in genetics or the disturbance in our neurotransmitters or hormones. So they have basically split the these type of diseases like schizophrenia or aggression or even the gender, right, into simplest parts. That, for instance, schizophrenia is the result of disturbance in neurotransmitters and hormones. Similarly, it goes for aggression. Aggression is the result of neurotransmitters, disturbance in neurotransmitters, or some of the hormones that are high, which results in aggression. Or gender. We are familiar that the male hormone, that is testosterone, that is high in male, while estrogen is high in female. So gender results in the with respect to the hormones, estrogen or testosterone, right? So this is how we can split different things into simplest parts to study them very easily. Then opposite of reductionism is holism, which says that rather than splitting them into different parts, it is much easier for a person to take it as a whole to study. For instance, it is according to holism, it is difficult if we study aggression. So it is holism. The psychologists under holism, they says that it is difficult to study every aspect in a singular way, in a separate manner, right? For example, it is difficult to study hormones, neurotransmitters, genetics, and so on separately rather than together. If we study aggression, it will be easier for us. So, holism refers to any approach that emphasizes the whole rather than their constituent parts. In other words, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And it also says that it is really difficult for an individual to study separate parts, so they should study any thing, any behavior, any aspects of a person as a whole, because things happen as a whole, right? Rather than it happens separately. We assume things from the environment. We observe different things from the environment as a whole rather than we see them separately. It is a human tendency that we see different things as a whole. For example, someone is irritable, so we will not see the reasons by splitting this behavior of irritability. We will see it as a whole, that the person is irritable, that the person is aggressive, right? The person is abusive. So we will see that specific behavior as a whole behavior, this thing is based on the concept of holism, right? So this is the difference between holism and reductionism. So this is a debate till now in psychology. So next one is Idiographic versus nomothetic. So the term nomothetic comes from the Greek word nomos, meaning law. Psychologists who adapt this approach are mainly concerned with studying what we share with others, that is to say, in establishing laws or generalizations. It means that those characteristics of a person that we share with the society, they are the part of nomothetic characteristics. As compared to nomothetic, idiographic characteristics, or the term idiographic comes from the Greek word idios, meaning own or private. So psychologists interested in these aspects of experience want to discover what makes each of us unique. It means nomothetic study those characteristics, those attributes of person which we share with our society. For instance, it may be culture, it may be the norms of the society, the rules and regulations set by the society. These are the set of characteristics, the laws which are shared by the entire community. So they will be considered as nomothetic. As compared to nomothetic, idiographic are those characteristics or trait that makes a person unique in the society. It may contains the personality traits with which a person born. It may consist of those characteristics or behaviors of a certain person which make them different from the other. For instance, if there are four siblings, uh, if two are brothers and two are sisters, then they all are different with respect to the traits, with respect to the behavioral patterns, right? So which things make them different? Their traits, their characteristics. So those characteristics and traits we will study under idiographic. So it is a debate till now that which aspect, which characteristics of a person is important in building up certain behaviors. Either it is idiographic characteristics or nomothetic characteristics. Then next one is free will versus determinism. So as the name indicates, free will. And what is free will? Free will versus determinism debate revolve around the extent to which our behavior is the result of forces over which we have no control, or whether people are able to decide for themselves whether to act or behave in a certain way. It means that both are opposite. The determinist approach proposes that all behavior is determined and thus predictable, right? So, what was the main focus of determinism? The main focus of determinism was that all behaviors are determined and thus they are predictable. It means that a person have no control over those emotions or behaviors. Instead, they are determined and they are predictable. For instance, if someone says that he is a shy boy, or he might be an aggressive person. So in every situation, in any situation, in the future or in the present state, they will be shy or they will be aggressive, because these are the basic characteristics of those individuals. So whether the situation is positive or negative, they will act as per their traits, as per their characteristics. So this is a determinist view, that those things are already determined, and thus they can predict what a person can do, how a person can behave in the future as well, right? In comparison to determinism, free will says that it assumes that we are free to choose our behaviors. It means that they are not predetermined. It depends on a person whether to behave in a positive way or to behave in a negative way. It is uh, it depends on the person itself rather than the situations or the traits. In other words, we are self-determined. For instance, people can make a free choices as to whether to commit a crime or not. It depends on a person to do different positive things or to do different negative things, right? So there is no predetermined factor. There is no predetermined factor or anything which can cause to certain behavior. So it totally depends on a person whether to choose a positive way or to choose a negative way. So this is our debate till now in psychology. So the last one is animal research. So in psychology, when psychology emerged as a separate discipline, all the experiments were done on animals rather than on humans, because it was not ethically right, morally right to do experiments on humans. So psychologists did number of experiments on animals, and they assumed that animals anatomy is similar to that of humans. That's why they did experiments on monkeys and different other animals as well. And whatever the results they had in their experiments, they found in their experiments, whatever the analysis they made, they assumed that these are the factors, these are the observations, that whenever they will do any experiment on humans, the results will be similar, right? So it is not practically possible to do different experiments on human beings. So it is easier for different psychologists, for different scientists to study, to find different things after doing those experiments on the animals, which is quite unethical as well, right? So this raises the issue of whether it's morally or scientifically right to use animals. Main criterion is that benefits must outweigh costs, but benefits are almost always to humans and cost to animals. It means that whenever we choose or we select animals to do experiments, whatever the results comes, but it will be beneficial for human beings, but it always harms the animals which are the part of the study. If chimpanzees are subjected to research with drugs and possibly surgery, and the result is a cure for schizophrenia, then many would say that the means experimenting with chimpanzees are justified, are made acceptable by the ends. It means that if we do certain experiments on animals and there's a positive outcome and humans can get benefit out of that, so there is no harm in doing different experiments on the animals. So can we generalize from studies on animals to humans, as their anatomy and physiology is different from humans? So animals cannot think about their experiences and invoke reasons, patience, memory, or self-comforts. It means that it is not always positive or practical to implement the findings of the experiments we do on animals.